Welcome back to Tarot and Beyond. Today we're doing a fun reading about your intuition. So this is A Little Birdie Told Me, and it was inspired by the birds outside my window just now. The birds flying around, and it gave me the idea to do a channeled message from your intuition about what it's been trying to tell you or what you've kind of been feeling but maybe not necessarily fully trusting. And so this reading is here to provide confirmation, elaboration, or illumination if that's what's needed. So choose from the birds that you see here before you. With group number 1, we have the budgie or lovebird. With group number 2, we have the white dove. And with group number 3, we have the crow. And if you prefer to pick with piles or cards, you can do so here as well. We have group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. Use the timestamps linked in the description box or pinned in the comments below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings, and we'll see you there. All right, hi group number 1. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the budgie, the lovebird, and this pile, this is going to be for you. So let's take a look and see what your intuition is trying to tell you. You have baby. Oh boy, okay. I won't make any assumptions. Let's see. You have phobias. Wow. Okay. Finish what you've started. You've started something important and now it's time to complete it. Yeah, you've started something. Baby can represent a new beginning. Okay. You have it's up to you. And you have kiwi. Do a walking meditation each day for the next week. And condor. You're too enmeshed in this situation, so step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or taking action. I love that you got 2 birds, and we're doing a little birdie told me reading, so let's find out what this means. Okay, so group number 1, I just wanted to reposition your cards, and I felt like putting the birds up closer to the feathers for whatever reason. So the first thing that I'm noticing in your reading is obviously what I mentioned before about baby and new beginnings. So it's something that you've started. It could be something that began in childhood. That's just what came through right there. So this could be something that needs to be focused on fairly regularly. It's like something that you might need to nurture within yourself, like your inner child might need you or might need more attention from you, because I'm noticing the word meditation and each day. So meditation each day next week. So this could be indicating that it could be important to do a daily meditation to reconnect to your inner child, to heal some kind of a phobia or fear. Enmeshment also speaks to me of childhood. So oftentimes if we were raised in codependent households where everyone's emotions were kind of mingling together and there was no separation or independence or autonomy, everybody was kind of over-invested in what everybody else was feeling, usually because there was instability in the home. I won't go too much into that here, but I'm just getting the sense that you may have unresolved fears that your intuition is kind of bringing up for you to see, because it may actually be interfering with your completion of something that's important to you. It's like there's resistance that is coming from that unconscious mind because you're a little bit too close to the situation, or there's something in it that's triggering something from your childhood. But let's get some additional information from the fairy tarot. So for group number 1, all of those, okay. Feel those ones, nope, not that one, okay. Move my bracelets so they stop hitting the table. Okay, so you have the King of Cups, okay. 3 of Swords, so this could be to do with a relationship. Ooh, yeah, this is to do with a relationship. This is to do with a relationship that's knocking you off your balance. This could be with, yeah, this could be like a situation where you're feeling as though, I just got the message here for somebody that you're afraid of commitment. Yeah, this could be fear of commitment, or this could be fear of connection. It feels like fear of opening up emotionally because of pain from the past. Actually, let me put this here. You also have the Three of Cups. You could have fears that you're going to be abandoned, or that you're going to be cheated on, or that you are going to be left out. I just got that message as well. Fears of being left out. Not seeing the situation clearly because there's fears that are blocking you from the truth or from authentic connection. These are all very emotional cards. Even the Three of Swords, which is technically mind and air based, is still a very emotional card because it's connected to the heart. You have the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like this needs to go here. And the King of Wands. A lot of masculine energy in this reading. And the Seven of Pentacles as well. Okay. And the Ace of Swords. So I like that you have the Ace of Swords because this is giving an indication that there's this new information that your intuition is bringing you and it's getting through. It's breaking through those barriers or those enmeshments. Meditation or having an epiphany of some kind is going to help you to figure this out and get, detangled from this situation where this enmeshment was. It's up to you to do this though, right? Like, so this information won't necessarily come through unless you're setting aside that time. And that's why it's so important for you to just sit and be with yourself, I think, to be able to determine what this is and what's going on here. Because it definitely feels like this is in regard to relationships or to somebody who's close to you, a masculine energy. Yeah, I feel like your guidance from your intuition is to take things slowly right now. So maybe you've been kind of wanting to jump into a relationship, but at the same time, there's a fear of commitment or there's resistance to starting something new. There's just so many messages here that are all seemingly disconnected, and I'm finding that very strange. And even though the card here is talking about enmeshment and seeing the bigger picture, I just get the sense that I'm seeing like all these little tiny fragments of pictures throughout this reading. This baby and started something new could be, especially since you have the Ace of Swords, which is also about new beginning, and King of Wands, which is about something that you've started, not necessarily that you haven't completed, but it's like a project or something that you've initiated. The Seven of Pentacles can speak of tending to a project that you have started. So perhaps this isn't to do with love for some of you. It could be to do with something that you started, an idea that you started, or a project that you started, and you began putting a lot of work into it, but maybe you stalled out or you stopped doing it. Could be like a health routine that you started and then you kind of fell off and you're not really noticing it because it's happening so gradually. Just like a little bit here, a little bit there of this food, a little bit here of that food, and then slowly you're kind of regressing back to the old eating pattern. This could also be about work and fears. I also just got psychological well-being and how that relates to your ability to follow through with things. Okay. Now we're starting to get some cohesion in the reading. It was like kind of all over the place, and I'm trying to like put these strangely shaped puzzle pieces together so I can see the bigger picture. And maybe that's what it is. It's like you're too enmeshed in the situation, and that's exactly what your reading is showing me. And even as the reader, like I'm having a hard time seeing the bigger picture of it because it's so all like weirdly connected but also disconnected. So it's no wonder you were drawn to this reading, because it feels like there's been a lot of confusion. It feels like there's been a lot of like disconnection and not understanding how these things fit together, but at the same time being like overly connected or enmeshed in the situation so that you're not being able to see your part of it or to identify what is actually going on in the first place. I feel like we should get some additional information. So I'm going to actually grab the letters and then we'll do charms. So what does group number 1 need to know about this situation? Okay, the first thing I'm seeing is the word flout, and this makes me think of like flouting your responsibilities, not finishing something. And we have the word her as well that I'm just noticing, and also hey. So it feels like your intuition or your inner self, your higher self, is trying to get your attention. You may be a female, but we did have a masculine energy here as well. Actually, a couple of different masculine energies. This could be like a whole bunch of people. Oh, we also have the word envy. So So I feel like there's something that you need to be responsible for and you need to take action toward to completing. If you've started it and you've kind of fell off with it, it is up to you to keep that going and to see it come to fruition. But you may need to detach from, being so enmeshed in it or so like over invested in it to the point that you can't see the forest through the trees and you can't really see the bigger picture or what's actually going on here. This could also be, because I was getting that message of like psychological something and maybe something from childhood as well. So it does feel like there may be something to do with a female, something to do with a male. This could be the mother and the father. This could be a relationship that you're in. There could be another person involved in this as well, like a third party situation, because we do have the Three of Cups and the Three of Swords. So I wonder if this is like a third party situation where there's somebody else's energy or they're observing and interfering in some way. Or maybe somebody else isn't taking responsibility for something that they need to be doing. And you're aware of that and your intuition has been telling you that, but you've been kind of taking the responsibility on your shoulders and then getting kind of bogged down in the details because of that. Let me see. So I have two words, there and then. So it feels like this was a specific place and a specific time. I wonder if this is something to do with, it does feel like it's something that stems from the past. And your intuition is trying to get your attention through your emotions and through your reactions within situations. They're drawing my attention to that, like how you react or respond to situations. That's how your intuition's trying to get your attention and tell you this. Okay, we have the word hour as well. So I do feel like this may have to do with a situation that involves other people, whether it's a romantic relationship where you're concerned that your partner is cheating on you, or there's another person who's got their eye on the relationship and it's in an inappropriate way, like they might be overly invested in the relationship and it's really none of their business. Or this could be a project that you're working on at work with other people and it's like our responsibility, but for whatever reason you're the one who ends up doing all the work, or maybe you're not doing all the work because there's a fear of failure or something like that, and so you need to finish it. I'm getting the word lent as well. Like I lent them my jacket and then I never got it back. Like something about lending. Getting the word route. Like an alternate route, like there's an alternate path for you to take here, but you might not be seeing it. Your intuition is trying to get your attention. It's trying to get you to get closure on this. If it was something from the past, like from childhood, and you're psychologically responding as if that thing is true, but it's not, it was then and there and not now, not here and now, there's an alternate route that you can take. I'm getting the word vent as well. You may need to vent. You may need to open up about this if you haven't. It feels like it's a very emotionally tense situation, whatever this is. It's very emotionally tense. Maybe that's why they were recommending going on a walk every day or meditating daily, because it feels like your inner child is having a hard time with this, or the situation is just emotionally tense. There's a lot of people involved. It feels kind of chaotic. Things are kind of all over the place. Like I'm even having a hard time getting a read on it. So I feel like the path that you're on right now is maybe not quite so aligned in regard to this situation, whatever it happens to be for you. And there's an alternate route, which is going to be much more aligned and more empowering for you. But it does require you to, number one, listen to your intuition, and number two, communicate, because the Ace of Swords that we had underneath there is also about communication. But first we have to listen to be able to understand what it is that we need to communicate in the first place. There's definitely something that needs to be released here. There's definitely something that needs to come to closure. There's something that might be tying you down. Okay, let's get some charms. So I went through all of my old things and I put a bunch of fun new charms in the bags. Okay, so group number 1, we have the diamond. This is like something needs to get clear in this situation, because something in this situation is super, super unclear. So your intuition has been trying to tell you this, but it's like you've been not reading the messages correctly, or there's just like so many kind of back and forth to it that you're not really sure what's true. I'm seeing the sword here related to like the Ace of Swords that we had underneath. So this is kind of like my indication that you need to cut something out. There's something that needs to be communicated clearly. There's a boundary that needs to be set. Enmeshment is like a situation that necessitates boundaries. Like there's a need for boundaries in that situation so that you can better understand your part, their part, what's yours, what's not yours, what you will and won't allow, that kind of thing. Now the upside down teaspoon here, this is something that I found recently and it's from Mexico. I don't even know where I got this. It was just like in my like random junk drawer. But it feels like Mayan to me, and because it came up upside down, I feel like you're not getting fed, like you're not getting your part of this. This also in this moment is reminding me of like a baby spoon because it's so tiny, so it's like feeding your inner child. Your inner child might be being neglected right now, and that's why there's emotional volatility. And we have the time turner, so this is like the necklace that Hermione wore in what was that one? Yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban. So she can turn back time and go to all her different classes. So I feel like you guys there's something inside that is turning back time, and it was like there and then is being replaced by here and now, and so you're living as if you're in the past, and you either need to turn back time to address this wound so you can get clear and cut this out and set this boundary and meet this need, or you need to come into the future. Like you need to, instead of being in the past, bring yourself into the present moment. And maybe that's why they're saying connecting to your body is important here. Maybe talking to people who you trust about this situation, because it feels like there's a lot of emotional stuff under the surface. Again, we did have the word vent. So it's like it needs to come out in some way so that you can address the physical issues that are happening here, whether it's with procrastination, lack of completion of obligations or responsibilities, or whether it's to do with other people and their interactions within your relationship or relationships. So this message overall, group number 1, is still a little bit convoluted and very hard to get a read on, but hopefully you got a little bit of insight into what is going on here. And if this is a relationship issue, which by the way, they just reminded me that the bird you chose is the lovebird. So I feel like, and it's either a budgie or a lovebird, and I'm not sure, but to me, it's in my mind, it's a lovebird. So that's how it's relating to the reading. And I feel like this is to do with a relationship, and that's why it's so triggering for your inner child, is because it's mirroring these dynamics or this enmeshment that may have happened in childhood in your home. So this is why maybe doing some past healing of the shadow wound of the inner child can be really helpful in getting clear on this situation, meeting your own needs, and then setting some boundaries through communication. So that is what I see for you, group number 1. I hope that it made sense to you, and or it will make sense in context in the future. And so let me know how it resonates, or if it resonates later on, come back to the video if you remember and let me know, because I'm curious about this now. So thank you so much for being here, guys. If you liked the video, thank you for liking it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye, guys. All right, hi group number 2, welcome to your reading. So if you chose the white dove and this group or this pile, then this is going to be your reading of your intuition, what it's trying to tell you. So you have be assertive. You have happy surprise, something very good is about to happen. You have Native American. Actually, let me push these over this way. You have communal living. You have you're overlooking some important details, so pay closer attention to what's going on. And you have meerkat, get support from a trusted group of like-minded friends. Okay, so it definitely looks like you've got something to do with groups of people here. Communal living, Native American, meerkat, these are all making me think of like friends, family, co-workers, groups of people, places that you live, neighborhoods. Yeah. So there's something here that maybe is being overlooked and you're needing to be assertive about it. Like maybe you're noticing it and it's a detail that affects you, but you need to say something because maybe somebody else or a group of people aren't seeing what you're seeing or aren't seeing what you're needing. But I do see the angels and your intuition paying attention to you and making sure that your needs are met. They're kind of like checking in on you. That's why your intuition is on point here. Your intuition knows what it needs and it's trying to let you know that. So let's get some additional information from the tarot. So for group number 2, what is their intuition trying to tell them about this situation? I do see this card. Okay. What is their intuition trying to tell them about this situation? Okay, let's go with those. So you have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. This is big energy. Let's see what else. Actually, I want to keep going from the bottom. You have the Three of Swords. This just came out in group number 1 as well, and I thoroughly shuffled the deck, like thoroughly. Okay, you have the Ace of Pentacles. This could be to do with money. You have the Six of Cups, but it definitely feels like there's an emotional component to it and a relational component to it, because again, it's like these groups of people, but it could be like a work environment. And you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, it's definitely money and emotional related. Okay, so let me just tune into these cards and see what the message is here. Yeah, okay, so honestly, this feels like a past life issue. When I see Native American communal living and the Wheel of Fortune, this very much feels like it's a past life pattern or something that came up before when you were living communally in like a tribe or something like that. And this time around, you're needing to heal something so that your needs are met, because you may have like tried to fit into a group in this present life and you're not feeling as though you're being understood, or there's details like they said here with the mouse that are kind of falling through the cracks. And it could be to do with your finances. So this could be like a living environment, a living situation, or a work environment, and it's affecting you emotionally because you're needing to set some boundaries. Like maybe you have to say, this is my space, you can't come in my space between these hours, or I need quiet from this point and this point in the day. Or maybe you're saying like, I need to be paid more for this because I'm investing this much, or this is how much I'm giving. So it definitely feels like there's money, but it's very emotional. There's definitely a happy surprise within this though. So your intuition is trying to tell you that you need to say something, you need to do something about this. It's trying to get you to reconcile this stuff from the past as well, so you can have a really happy outcome, because the Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the happy surprise, like even in this card, she just looks so happy and luxurious. All of her needs are met. She's happy in her home. She's living with other people, but she's happy about it. Everybody's getting along and everybody's got more than enough. So it definitely feels like that's possible. It's just maybe there's some details that need to be talked about. Like maybe there needs to be a family meeting, or there needs to be like a team meeting or something like that, where you can come together and actually voice your needs or voice your perspective, so that you can all kind of come together on the same page and feel this sense of abundance. Because I mean, look at the Ace of Pentacles here. It's just like a basket full of eggs. There's acorns, and it's all about like the harvest. Like there's more than enough to go around. So I feel like there's going to be something that comes in regard to this situation to help you resolve it, or to help give you the courage to say something about it, so that you'll get your piece of the pie and you're not going to be excluded, or everybody gets a fair share or something like that. So let's take a look at your letters, and then we're going to do charms as well today. Okay, so for group number 2, what do they need to know about this intuitive message? First word I'm seeing is mace. I'm also seeing the word tossed. So when I think of mace, obviously it's like spraying something unwanted, right? It's like a physical boundary or defense. So I feel like there's definitely room for something assertive here so that you can communicate where that boundary is, so that you don't have to, like, you know, metaphorically mace people in your environment or like toss them out. Maybe you're feeling tossed out because there was a past life where there was like tribal conflict or something like that. Ooh, I'm getting the word hide. You might be hiding away, like maybe if you live in a home where there's a lot of people there, you might need more boundaries, and so you're trying to hide away, or you're not happy with the situation being what it is. Like maybe the kitchen's always dirty, and when you go in there to try and cook, you can't, and you're frustrated and you're upset about it. And instead of addressing people directly or talking about it, or maybe you have and they reacted aggressively, so you just go and hide. So there's something in this situation that needs to be addressed, and your intuition is right. Your intuition is telling you that this isn't right and that there's something that needs to be changed here. Yeah, I'm getting the word shame. This might be shame, like you might be afraid of rejection or getting tossed out because you were shamed in a past tribal community or communal living. Like, so for example, if your needs were completely based on your tribal connections and your affiliation with the group, and in those day and ages, and then you got shamed or you got rejected or ostracized or cast out from that tribe, then you're on your own. That's like survival fear, because if you're on your own in the wilderness, there's a good chance that you'll die. Whereas in this day and age, we can be very, very separate from the community and still thrive. You know, we're way more independent now than we ever have been in history as humans. But I feel like there's this deep-rooted shame within you from this past life, possibly in regard to this pain around asserting yourself, because maybe you did in the past and then you were shamed for it or something like that. And so you felt like you needed to hide away or hide your needs or repress those things so that you wouldn't stand out and become, you know, liable to get cast out. I see the word same as well. So it's definitely important for you at soul level to have connection, to have community, to see yourself as the same as others. It's like you need that similarity. You need that feeling of community is what I'm getting the sense of. And that's probably another reason why there's resistance to speaking up about this issue, if that is what's going on here. I'm seeing those, like those people, those who can. Also getting the word seize. Oh my gosh, I spelled it really weird, but way too many E's. You might feel like something's going to be seized or taken away from you if you say something. You might seize up, but there is happiness. Oh, we also have the name Sam. And though, like although, I feel like there's good things that are meant to be coming out of this. And there's going to be blessings once you are assertive and you're able to stand up for yourself and make sure that your needs are met. I feel like that's where the happy surprise is going to come from. And maybe you actually speak up and you speak your truth without getting upset, in a very compassionate, direct way, very assertive, but not aggressive. And those who maybe once would have, or you thought would react, maybe they actually understand you and they want to help you, or they want to give you more or something like that. Okay, let's get your, oh no, there is more here. Hold on. Okay, we have deem and size. What do you deem to be enough? That's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's like, it's a very personal question. And I think that like size matters. No, I'm just kidding. It's like the size of your room, or the size of the family, or the size of your portion, or whatever it is that you're needing, or the size of your pay. It's kind of like, who deems that to be enough for you? Maybe you need to say what you need or don't want. I'm getting the word shade, like maybe somebody's throwing shade at you, to you. Shade them. Shade to them. Yeah, it's like maybe you're the one throwing shade at people because you're resentful of not having your needs met, but you haven't necessarily stood up for them. Or maybe you're throwing shade at people because you have like this past life wound and it's being projected onto these environments that are kind of replicating that pattern. These are people you've met before. Yeah, like these are past life people that you've met before. It's like the same situation just playing out again. I'm also getting Sade from this, like the singer. So it's time. It's time to do something. It's time to communicate. It's time to break the cycle. The Wheel of Fortune is all about time. It's all about money. It's all about like this shift or change. It can be about karma. So it's like all of these different things, but I'm really seeing it here about this pattern. It's like it's time to change it. It's time to ask for more. It's time to step up and say something or do something or set the limit. It's time to communicate your boundaries. Yeah, it's time to be in your abundance. Like it's time for you to feel like you have more than enough and that you can bask in like the shade. Like maybe you can get out of the hot sun and like have a shady spot, you know what I mean? Like if you're dying in the heat and everyone else is crowded into that shady spot and you want it and you're not being given it, then it's time that you kind of stand up for yourself a little bit. I think that's why it's like be assertive, because where your needs have not been met in the past or where you've been disappointed or hurt or you felt betrayed, it's now time for you to heal that so that you can actually have your moment in the shade. Yeah, it's like seize. You've got to seize your moment. It's time. You've got to say something. You've got to do something. You've got to implement something. It's the perfect time. There's no better time than now. Okay, now that being said, let's get some charms. Okay, so, oh, you have two of the ones that group number one had. I feel like there's definitely some connections for you and group number one. They had a lot of like inner child stuff coming up, and you do have the Six of Cups. So and you did have that card where there was a little girl in the bedroom. So I feel like there could be some inner child stuff here. And the situation is complicated because it's like a living situation or a work situation. Anyways, you have the diamond here, which is about getting crystal clear on something. And I'm also getting the message that there's many different sides to this. Like there's so many different people in this situation that each person has a different point of view on what it is that is fair. And I feel like each person is kind of deeming what is fair for them, but maybe you're trying to meet everyone else's needs by not meeting, but in the process of that, you're not meeting your own. Because that was the message that came up in group number one with the spoon. It's like not being fed. So you're not being fed right now, or you're not getting your fair share in whatever this is. But the happy surprise is that if you say something, you're going to get your fair share. It's going to be like more than enough is what I'm seeing. It's like this spoon is going to really help you to get all of your nourishment, all of your needs met. Yeah, this is definitely something from the past, because this spoon also makes me think of the past because it's like Aztec, and then this makes me think of like memories. It's like stuff that's stored in your DNA. So this is information in your soul blueprint from these past lives. It's karmic for sure, and that's why it needs to be addressed. You have the cat angel. It's so cute. So I feel like this is like furry friends, furry family members, but it's also just reminding me of like the past as well, because it's like you went from that life, you became an angel again, and then you reincarnated here, and so it's like these different these different aspects of you, but they still carry over. And you have this like psychedelic hippie mushroom. I'm noticing the happy face and the let me hold it up so you guys can see the happy face and the butterfly. So this is making me think of like hippies who want to live communally, and having that sense of community and having that sense of connection and living very natural, like living on a homestead or something like a community off grid or something like that is kind of what I'm getting from this. But I also just see this as like like the hippie philosophy of like, let's all just be friends, like we can all get along. That's kind of what I'm seeing here, is like there might be a really happy, surprising way that you can resolve this situation and break this karma and have your needs met and have everybody else's needs met and have your intuition really clear, like your ability to communicate very clear, all of that. And then you have this match. And so this makes me think of like there's something that needs to be lit. It's out right now, but you can light that fire. You can say something, you can do something and get this going. And it's going to actually warm everybody up, is what I'm seeing. It's like by you saying something about it, it's going to help everyone. So you're going to clear the karma, you're going to help yourself, and you're going to help the others in this group as well. So it's really important that you do say something. This could be even like leadership, because it does remind me of like the Ace of Wands or the King of Wands. So this could be stepping into a leadership position in a community where you're able to create more peace by, the angel cat's also making me think of like being like coming at it from a very heavenly place, like being very angelic, being very soft and gentle, but at the same time assertive. Like you can protect yourself, you can protect others, and you can clear this this like stored karma in your blueprint and have your needs met. So overall, group number 2, what I'm seeing here is that your intuition is on point in this situation. If it's been telling you that something needs to change, or you need to address this, or you're feeling disempowered in this situation, then you're right. You do need to say something. You do need to do something. There's a very peaceful way to resolve this, though. It doesn't have to be aggressive. It can be very peaceful, and it can be mutually beneficial. So find a clear solution, maybe think about it, and come to a conclusion that really gives you that sense of equanimity or equality within the group or within this living situation, that's going to help you to feel more peaceful, feel more protected, more safe, and more supported by the group, because that's really important here for you, especially based on if there's a past life connection to this. It's like you really need to feel as though you can be independent and still included in the group. And still have your needs met in both of those scenarios. Like you don't have to go it completely alone, and you don't have to forego your needs to fit into the group. It's like a healthy balance of both. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. So I hope that that helps and that gave you some insight into your intuition. Oh, they're just reminding me that you guys picked the dove, which is like about peace. Yeah. So it's resolving this in a peaceful way. That's definitely the main message here. Being assertive but peaceful. Yes, exactly. All right, guys, so that's what I see for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you resonated, thank you for liking the video. I really appreciate that. It brings me a lot of joy when I see those likes. And we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the crow, then this is going to be what the little birdie of your intuition is trying to tell you right now. So we have your oracle cards, and then there was a couple of tarot cards that popped out when I was pre-shuffling, but we will get more for clarifiers as well. So you have High Priest or Priestess. You have Knighthood. Talk about your feelings. Tell a friend how you feel. Look for a sign. You have Penguin. The period of darkness that you've been experiencing is now passing. And you have Peacock. Let yourself stand out and be noticed. Okay. And then for your tarot cards, you have the Three of Swords has come up in every single reading, and I kept shuffling and reshuffling the deck after every reading. So yeah, the Three of Swords is really prominent in these readings. You have the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so right away, group number 3, I'm getting a sign. I meant to say I'm getting a feeling, but then I said I'm getting a sign. So I feel like you're definitely meant to be listening to your intuition and looking for signs. The synchronicities are trying to tell you something here, group number 3. And it's in regard to how you feel. It's in regard to some pain that's needing to be released because you're coming out of a period of darkness. And your intuition, your very wise intuition, is trying to help you to move out of it really boldly. But there's something about this that needs to be talked about. There's something about this that needs to be expressed, or at least you just need to kind of open up to your own emotions or to speak your truth, because the peacock is a very sort of bold energy. And since you have knighthood and the Knight of Cups, I feel like this is you kind of saying how you feel. It's like really being honest, but it takes a lot of courage to be that kind of honest. So I'm seeing you kind of having to muster the courage to let yourself stand out and be noticed in this way for how you feel. Or maybe it's like your creative pursuits or something like that, or something that you are seeing through the signs and you need to tell a friend, or you need to speak up and just share your intuition, or like you need to maybe like make it public. I'm also feeling as well. But maybe you've been going through a hard time, so you haven't felt confident enough to do that, or you haven't felt like it was the right time. But I'm kind of getting the message here that your intuition has been telling you that it's time to speak up on something. It's time for you to be in your Queen of Cups energy, your High Priestess or Priest energy, where you're able to heal yourself. You're able to possibly even heal others, or go out there and be like a warrior for good. You know, a warrior against darkness, because they just showed me the period of darkness. Maybe you went through a dark night of the soul, and now you're meant to go teach other people about spiritual awakening, because it feels like you're so much more connected to your spirituality now. You've been seeing the signs. Maybe you've been talking about this with your friends and you're very passionate about it. And now they're saying like it's time to actually let yourself stand out in regard to this. Maybe you need to make a social media account that talks about spirituality, or maybe you need to just make it more public, or make it into a business. I don't know. Like let's get a couple more. No, that actually they're directing me not to get more tarot cards. I think we're just going to jump right into the letters and the charms then. Okay, so let's do letters first, and then we'll grab charms. Okay, they're actually directing me not to get letters for your group for whatever reason. They're like, no more tarot, no letters, just get the charms. I'm like, okay, so we're gonna get charms. So I just went around my entire house and collected anything that gave me like a little intuitive prompt. So these are all like just charms from around my house and like random things. But yeah, let's play with them and see what comes up. They said there's more, so I'm going to go in for more. Okay. So the first thing I'm seeing here is the fresh nap. And it's like refreshing, fresh nap, moist towelette. So I feel like you might need to clean something up. It's like if you just came out of a period of darkness, you might have some of that pain still kind of all over you, and you need to like almost clean yourself a little bit, you know. I'm also seeing the glue here as something that needs to be repaired, or something that needs to be glued back together. It's like if there was wounds that you need to like kind of close those wounds, because sometimes like if you get a pretty minor cut and well, not even like a minor cut, but if you get like a cut that's deep enough to need stitches, sometimes you can even use super glue. So I feel like that's with the Three of Swords energy, like pain in the heart. You're needing to like clean yourself off, sanitize it, and then like close it up, you know? So like doing some pretty major internal healing. Oh, and then you have a yes. And these two are stuck together, so you have yes and oh yeah. So this is like double confirmation that whatever it is that you've been intuitively getting, it is on point, and you're definitely going through a transformation out of that dark night of the soul and into a spiritual expansion is what I just heard. Like you're very, very much spiritually expanding. Yeah, your sense of peace is only going to increase from here on out. Your sense of peace is only going to increase. Oh, you have the God attitude. I feel like you're just meant to be a little outspoken, group number 3. Like you're meant to speak up about something. You're meant to lead a movement is what I see with the match. It's like you're meant to lead a movement, or you're meant to like spark a fire and like light up fire under other people's butts or something like that. It's like you you came out of this period of darkness and this is just about to light. You just kind of need to clean yourself off, repair yourself, test your wings out, and then you can ignite this fire within you and create this sense of peace. I'm being drawn to this one, which is like the keychain thing. So I feel like, and you have 2 circle ones. So this feels like cycles of time. It feels like everything is coming full circle for you. I feel like you're meant to be connecting things as well, or connecting people to themselves is what I just heard. So you're meant to be where things were disconnected before, like you're connecting them back together, or you're meant to unite things. Yeah, unity from the circle. Yeah, I definitely feel unity from that. The little comb here, first of all, I'm noticing like the stars on it, and that makes me think of like this is destiny. It's written in the stars, and the comb makes me think of like getting the tangles out. So you may still be working on like detangling some of the things, the cords in your heart or the pain from that dark period, but you're getting ready to make that go away. You're getting ready to brush that out, clean that up, repair that, put a cap on it. I'm seeing as well, it's like putting a cap on things that really don't need to be continuing to persist and like cause you more pain than is necessary. It doesn't mean like repress it. It just means that if you're not using it anymore, you can put it away, you know? You also have super cool. So I feel like you're going to do something that's very unique, group number 3. Your intuition is guiding you to activate and heal your chakra system. It's guiding you to maybe heal others. I keep getting that message of like the wounded healer. So you may be somebody who's called to the healing professions in some way. I'm getting a lot of spirituality here, so it feels very much like a spiritual healing, but it could also be medical as well. You have a golden heart, group number 3. You have a golden heart, and it is radiant and it is pure, and that's why you were able to endure this 3 of Swords pain and come out of it and just clean yourself up and dust yourself off and come back into your power again, come back into your wisdom. You're able to return to yourself in a way that maybe others wouldn't be able to in that situation. You also have the glittery S. And this is making me think of like the cycles of life, like down and up, and it's like the waves of life that kind of come in and out. And the S is making me think of spiritual. So I feel like you're a very spiritual person, group number 3. You're very peaceful. You're very passionate though. And you've got like this unification within you that's probably because you've done a lot of self-work. You've combed out a lot of those tangles on your own. You've made them go away, and you've been able to see things more clearly because of that. You also have the like Mayan spoon. So I feel like you have a lot of wisdom and ancient knowledge, and you're meant to be sharing that, group number 3. Your intuition is on fire. Your intuition is so good. And they're reminding me that you chose the crow, and the crow is like, it's always connected to being able to see clairvoyantly. Crows are very, very connected to the psychic realm, the astral realm. They're also connected to Hecate, I believe, and the Morrigan. So these are like other very psychic, divine feminine energies that are often associated with witchcraft and things like that. So I feel like you may be called to do like, metaphysical healing work of some kind. They're telling me to get more charms. Like, really? We don't even really have space for that. But they're like, get more charms. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. So you have two diamonds here. 2 diamonds. One multicolored, one clear. This is representing the purity of the crystalline body and the rainbow body as it moves. So it's like the pure white light that comes through the crown chakra and then gets like a prism. When light goes through a prism, it like what is it called? It like, I don't know what that's called when it like breaks into the 7 color spectrums, but that's what I'm seeing there with the rainbow and with this rainbow diamond as well. I feel like you have a lot of purity within you, group number 3. Like, oh my God, a lot of purity. You also have a pink sparkly heart too. So I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of healing of your heart chakra, and it's going to help you to reactivate so much of your hidden knowledge. We have the flower of life here too. So this is like sacred geometry. Again, I feel like you are a sacred soul, very spiritual. You have a lot of superpowers. Super glue also makes me think of superpowers, and you have the super cool right next to it. So you have superpowers, and your superpower is of peace. Your superpower is to light the flame for yourself and others. It's to bring unity to things. It's to be outspoken and to be able to... Oh, they're showing me this as like, instead of it being a cap that you put on something, it's kind of like you take the cap off of things and you're able to fill that cap up and like give it to other people. It feels like it's like healing waters that you're putting in there, because this is actually a cap from my Clear Vibrations energy spray by Vibe Tribe Notions, and this is Rose, Florida, and Holy Water. I feel like you're taking that off and you're like cleansing. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now. There we go. Yeah. Oh yeah, smells so good. Yeah, so I feel like you're like here to cleanse the world, group number 3. You're here to light the flame. You're here to cleanse the world. And then you also have République Française. So I don't know if this is something to do with French, but what I'm getting from it is like this Greek, like philosopher type of energy from it. So even though it's French, I feel like this is like philosophy or some kind of ancient knowledge that you have within your heart, because you're a high priest or priestess, and you're meant to be cleaning up the world in a sense, you know, like you're meant to be purifying and sanctifying the world, especially for people who are not able to see and or they have attitude because they're coming from the ego. You're here to unite them with God. Oh my God. You're here to unite them with their God selves, I should say, not necessarily with a God outside of them. It's reuniting them with their God selves, and that's what creates healing. So you're very divinely guided, group number 3. You are meant to be transforming right now, and this period of darkness was actually a catalyst to help you to understand the deepest wounds of humanity so that you can go out and meet others' needs with this ancient knowledge and this experiential knowledge that you have from these challenging experiences. You're meant to catalyze that and within yourself to create the healing, the self-healing, and that knowledge that you can then share that with others and help them to heal themselves as well. So you're not meant to heal other people. You're meant to heal yourself and teach other people to heal themselves as well. And that's what every good healer does. Okay. Yeah, you're going to bring people together. I feel like you're going to create communities. I get social media again, so you might be called to like start an Instagram or a TikTok or a YouTube or something like that so that you can bring people together, or even like an online marketplace. I don't know. It's like something that's going to bring people together so that like minds can unite and have conversations about spirituality or have conversations about information that they're sharing through their healing experience. Yeah. It could be a community program, but I feel like if it is, it's something that you're creating and not something that you're joining. They were guiding me to flip this over because it did come up this way, and it says, a very strong napkin-sized towelette saturated with a pleasantly scented cleansing lotion. Refresh and clean hands and face without soap and water. Self-dries in second, leave skin soft and smooth. Just tear open packet and use. I feel like you're going to create a really convenient, easy way for people to heal and to repair themselves. It's like it's compact, it can travel, it can apply to many people, and they can clean themselves up. You know, maybe it's not like a full shower, but you can teach them how to like keep themselves spiritually clean in a way that will still make a really positive difference. It also says White Plains, New York. For some people that might be important. I'm not sure why I'm being called to mention that, but that's what I'm getting. White Plains, New York may be important. And then there's the number 4 on the bottom that's standing out to me. That might be a significant angel number that you're seeing a lot. 4 is about protection, stability. It's also an angel number. And I'm seeing the word very strong with the number 4. Yeah, so 4 is a very strong, stable energy. It's like the 4 legs of a chair that make it very stable. You're a very strong soul, group number 3. And that's why you were like tested in this way, so that you could go through these experiences, learn how to heal them, learn how to clean yourself up, nourish yourself back to health again, and then help other people do that, either spiritually or physically or both. That's what I'm seeing here in your reading. So that is all that I have for you today, group number 3. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading and allowing me to enjoy my new charms and apply them here for you. I had lots of fun. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing if you want to stick around for more, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.